Good Monday morning and welcome in to the OnlyBets Sports Bets podcast alongside SternBets. DrewDelucchi. I am the one and only Prince of Picks. And boy, do we have an excellent slate of matches taking place today. This week is a great sports week. We've got the MLS midweek in action. We've got the NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs, Major League Baseball. A lot of stuff going on here. And I know the boys are excited to get into it. For one, I'm definitely eager to get this week going here as we start off our Monday, beautiful, sunny Monday morning here in Chicago. Spring is in full bloom and summer is just around the corner. So can't wait to get into it here. I know the boys are excited as well. So we will get into it here shortly. Before we do us a quick favor, guys. Those of us who are listening, head on over to Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, whatever it is that you listen to us. Give us a real quick rate, review, subscribe. Does wonders in helping this channel and show grow and get it out to more potential listeners. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get this week started here. Let me pass it over to my co-host, my friend, Mr. SternBets. Good morning, Mr. Moch. How are you?
Oh, we're doing real good. It's such a good morning. We have NHL playoffs going on. We have NBA playoffs going on and good old regular MLB, not to mention soccer. So yeah, a lot to get to. I want to hear recaps from both of you on the hockey and basketball. I think we've seen some incredible games so far. I'm in Philadelphia. Flyers fans are going nuts over their upset win. So yeah, I'm really excited. I also want to mention, and I want to bring Drew in, but we hit 2 out of the 3 home run props from Friday. I hit O'Neal Cruz, and I believe Drew hit Michael Harris, and you had Javi Baez at over, I think it was plus 1,000. So the fact that that didn't come through isn't, it would have been nice
What
to
are you
have
going to
3
do?
for 3.
Yeah, what
But
are you
like
going to do?
you both chose, we all chose nice numbers here, and I'm happy. Yankees, Dodgers, they got it done. So I had a 3-in-1 day plus a home run pick. That was quite the day. I'm happy with it. I'm ready to move on. But let's bring in Drew. How was your weekend, man? And can you maybe give us a little bit of a recap from what you saw if you were paying attention to the NHL and or NBA? And then we'll go back to you, Prince, for NBA talk.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. I'll say this real quick for the game going on. If you guys didn't get Sonny Gray a 5.5 strikeouts, he's still at that line. He only has 1K through 2 innings. So if you want to get that, go ahead and get it. But the other thing, kind of a recap I noticed for the NHL. I wasn't able to watch as much NHL as I wanted to, but I was able to watch some highlights and stuff. I definitely watched the highlights of the Canadians Lightning game. Like I said before, that game was so fun. Went to overtime. Final score, it was like 4-3. That game was amazing, and a game that I was very surprised about personally. It was actually a game I watched and I turned off. I was surprised what the Wild did to the Stars. I will say that I was like kind of on the Stars in that matter. I didn't really necessarily place any, like hockey bets, but shout out to the Wild, man. The Wild really just dominated from the very beginning. Like the only goal Dallas scored was in the second period, and the Wild scored right as soon as I saw them, score 3 goals in the second period. I was like, you know what? I know there could be a comeback, but the Wild was just too much on of a roll. Other hockey games, one hockey game we'll talk about later that I'm excited to watch, but overall, though, what was it? I'll say this: I thought the Bruins Sabres was going to be boring, but then I saw the Sabres score goals in the third period. Absolutely embarrassing loss by the Bruins. I know it was at the Sabres, but yeah, that's my takeaway for hockey portion of things. I
Yeah,
will
by the
say.
way, I did message in the Discord and in our chat that I thought that the Sabres were a good live
Yeah.
play for a money line. I got them at plus 140 or something like that on the money line before they went down 2-0 and then they came back. But yeah, that was an unbelievable performance last night. And you're right, I haven't been able to watch as much hockey as I want either, simply because there's so many different sports going on. So it's hard to juggle. My TV can only handle 2 streams at a time.
Yeah.
Prince, give us a recap on NBA. What happened? Pistons collapsed, or did the Magic beat them? What happened there?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both, honestly. I mean, everyone's, kind of has their question marks about the Pistons, right? Because they really haven't been there and done that. Last year was their first trip into the playoffs, and prior to that, they really don't have any experience. It's a bunch of young guys. So I don't know if you noticed, but it seems like a lot of teams were kind of jockeying in positions to face Detroit. Everyone wanted Detroit. Nobody wanted Boston for the right reasons, right? Boston has a championship pedigree, and of course, their record was due to an injury, a major injury, right, to Jason Tatum. So, I mean, I get it. Boston probably is the best team in the East. I think they showed that with their domination over the Philadelphia 76ers. Of course, that probably made you happy, Stern, because you've been out on the Sixers that are kind of supported your point on how much you want to fade them right now. And I think in this series in particular, I think the Sixers are in deep trouble. I'm not really sure what they're going to be able to do to really combat the Celtics offensively. They just don't have enough on the offensive end outside of Tyrese Maxey and Paul George. But getting back to the Pistons and Magic, look, I guess maybe Orlando, maybe they've been playing chess this whole time, and everyone else has been playing checkers. I mean, these last two games, they have flipped the switch and they've turned back the clock to the team that they were last year and the team that everyone expected them to be this year. Now, you could say maybe it's due to injuries and whatnot. They've suffered a lot of injuries throughout the season. Maybe that messed up their chemistry or their camaraderie. I'm not really sure. But these last two games, this has been vintage Orlando Magic from the previous 2 years. They are getting after defensively. They're playing very physical with their opponent, and the big name players are stepping up. Jalen Suggs had an awesome game last night. He got off to a hard start, really set the tone for that game, I think, and kind of punched the Pistons in the mouth. I'm not sure the Pistons were really expecting that. They're usually the ones that punch the other team in the mouth first. So the fact that the Pistons got punched first, they were down virtually the whole game. I believe it was a wire-to-wire win for the Orlando Magic. So a little bit of both, a little bit of a Pistons collapse. Maybe it's some inexperience showing up in game one of a playoffs. And, I think this might end up being a more competitive series than maybe a lot of people had predicted to begin with.
Okay, so we're going to get into plays in just a moment. And I have one coming up in a series winner parlay here in the NBA. How do you feel about the Pistons bouncing back in game 2, game 3, game 4? It might be competitive, but the Pistons should for sure still be favored, correct?
Well, they should be, and I think they will be. And really, it's a must-win if you're the Detroit Pistons. You cannot lose your first two home games in a playoff series. Typically, when you do that, I don't know the exact numbers, but I know the percentages are pretty low when you lose your first two home games of you advancing. So it's a must-win without it being a literal must-win, but percentage-wise, analytically, it's pretty much a must-win. So I think the Pistons will come out with a different energy, with a different attitude. Maybe they overlooked Orlando. Maybe they thought Orlando was kind of fool's gold in the fact and how they, how they looked against Philly, how they looked most of the season. Maybe they thought Charlotte was just an outlier, but it turns out that maybe Orlando is different than what we thought they were. So I think you have some inconsistencies with both teams, to be honest with you, but I fully expect the response from the Detroit Pistons. There's no way that they can go down 0-2 to the 8 seed Orlando Magic, losing both of their home games. That would do a lot to them, I think, emotionally, mentally, and just messing with their psychology in the series.
Yeah, so that's going to bring me into my first play of the day. Now, I'm going to say everything I'm saying except for my Dodgers play, which we're going to get to, is a half a unit. The Dodgers play is a full unit. Everything else that I'm saying is a half a unit because I'm so confident and so much looking forward to that Dodgers Rockies game that everything else just pales in comparison. But I do think that the Pistons bounce back, and I just need them to win today to give me a price to hedge tomorrow. Or I guess I should say I need them to win tomorrow for a price to hedge in 2 days. But I'm going to take the Detroit Pistons series winner, parlayed with the Boston Celtics and Spurs to all win the series. Now, Celtics and Spurs really just helping the juice a little bit. I mean, they're both winning right now, 1-0. So I don't expect them to lose the entire series. This bet is really just on the Detroit Pistons. The juice is not pretty at -147. But again, I do think that we're going to get a good chance to hedge on this. I think Detroit wins game 2. And I don't think that the Magic are going to shoot as efficiently as they did in game 1 in the last game or two, especially with Detroit's defense needing to put up a little bit. And during the regular season, they were one of the more defensive units in the league. So I like them to bounce back defensively, and I like the Magic to regress negatively. Do you like that play, Prince?
I do, actually. I like that play a lot. I think that's a pretty solid look. Of course, the Celtics are in prime position to win their series, as well as the Spurs. And I think you're probably going to get the best price that you can get on the Pistons right now to win the series. I don't think they're going to be down again in this series, to be honest with you. So you're probably not going to get a better value for Detroit to win the series. So I like it a lot.
Yeah. I have one more play in tonight's game, and we're going to go to the Knicks. But I'm going to open the floor to you. Do you have any basketball plays that you want to get off your chest first?
I do. So while we're talking about series futures, I do have one that look, guys. My apologies for not giving this out earlier. I mean, we try to give out as many plays as we can, but if I were to give out all my plays, I mean, we'd probably have a 2 hour show, which we don't have time for that. I'm sure you, as a listener, don't want to sit through a 2 hour show as well. So there's going to be some things that get missed, but I will tell you guys, I am really, really big on the Spurs and the Thunder in their series. I had bet both of them to win 4-0 in a sweep. I don't see any way possible what adjustments the Suns can make to combat with the Thunder, and the same can be said for the Blazers against the Spurs. I think those are 4-0 sweeps. I really, really can't see a situation where they even win a game. I think just the Thunder and the Spurs are just significantly better in every single aspect of the game than the Blazers and the Suns. And so hurts me to say as a Suns fan, but I got to be realistic. I never put my money where my heart is, and so I think both of those are prime spots for 4-0 sweeps. You could probably still get a decent value on that, even with both of those games being 1-0 already. Series, I should say, being 1-0. But that's something that I would still look at if you're looking for some kind of series props or bets or anything like that. But as far as and I'll get your thoughts on that in a minute here, Stern. But as far as my play for tonight, one play for me, I'm looking at the Minnesota Timberwolves taking on the Denver Nuggets. I like the Wolves team total over 112.5. I'm still not quite a believer in this Denver Nuggets defense. I expect a response here from Minnesota. Minnesota is a tried and tested team. This is a playoff blue blood, and I expect them to come into this one with the right mentality. And I think they can put up points. Are they going to win? I'm not sure. Because they're a little bit inconsistent themselves, but this is more of a fade on Denver's defense than anything, and I think 112.5 is a relatively low number for a Denver defense that at any point can realistically give up 120, 130 to anybody. So I know this is playoffs. You got to look at it differently than the regular season, but until I see it on a consistent basis, I'm not going to be able to back this Denver defense. So give me Minnesota on the road in a very important game for them. I don't want to say it's a must win, but it's a very important game, of course. I like them to score over 112.5.
I think this is an excellent look. I have value on the spread, but like most people, we're not going to touch it. Not, you know what I mean? You don't want to test Denver's offensive capabilities, but fading their defensive capabilities is a really smart way to do it. And this is a phenomenal play. I got this actually at over 111.5 on DK for I think it was like minus 115 or minus 116. So not terrible
Yeah,
juice.
love it. And then what are your thoughts? And then Drew, I'll ask you in a second here too. I'll bring you in. I'm interested in both you guys' thoughts. What are you guys' thoughts on the Spurs Blazers and then the Thunder Suns? How do you feel about the 4-0 sweep? You think either team can get a win, or how would you guys attack those series? Stern, I'll ask you first.
I'm less interested in betting a 4-0 sweep. I think it's probable. I think at the juice, it's definitely a value price. The only reason why I didn't add OKC to my series winner parlay is because they're so heavily favored that it didn't move the juice at all.
Yeah, I believe it.
Like it went from 140 minus 147 to minus 146. I'm like, that's
Yeah,
just
I was gonna say you're probably getting a penny. Yeah, that's about right.
it's not worth the risk, even though I don't feel like there's any risk there. This could be a really short series for the Suns, and I don't feel good about their chances. How about you, Drew?
Oh, they're not winning the game. Also, Jack Flaherty is struggling mightily, walking people as usual. He just walked with the bases loaded. But he has. I'm going to start betting his over and walks. But I think the Suns get swept. The Blazers. Oh, I can see the Blazers stealing one at the Blazers because something I will say, as we all know, I know they're not the same team we've seen with Dame. I think Dame's, of course, he's still hurt, but that place, as they call it, that place is an asylum, and it's in a hard place to play, regardless of how good the Blazers are, because their fans always show up. So I can possibly see the Spurs getting a gentleman sweep, but at the end of the day, playoff Wemby's here, and he's the scariest man in the NBA. So I would say the one I'm more confident in getting a sweep would probably be the Thunder if I had to pick one.
The talent disparity on for the Thunder side is just too wide of a gap.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
really is. All right. So I have a play here in the NBA for tonight's game, Hawks Knicks. Now, we talked about this on Friday's show and we had it as a show play. I think it missed on the hook but there were a lot of missed opportunities, and I think that these two teams are going to play a little bit more efficiently on offense. Give me the Hawks Knicks over 216.5, half a unit here. We talked about it before. These are two efficient offenses. Hawks have already shown vulnerabilities to letting the Knicks do whatever they want on offense. And if you're expecting in any which way, shape, or form for the Hawks to have an upset or to keep it close, their only real way of doing that is outscoring New York. I don't think they're able to stop New York themselves. So I like the pace to go up, and I like both teams to push. So over 216.5, half a unit. That's my play. I forget the juice, but I think it was around minus 110 when I played it. I can take a look at that. I got it for minus 112 on DK. Prince, how do you feel about that one?
Oh yeah, for me, I don't really have a thought on the total. It could go either way for me, so I'll probably stay away from overs and unders. But I'm more gonna fade the Knicks again. Again, I need to see it on a consistent basis from them before I go all in. I mean, they had a lot of things go right for them to win that game by the margin that they did. I still think Atlanta is undervalued. I think getting him at +5.5, I think, is a good enough price for me, and I'll take it until I see the Knicks on a more consistent basis start winning these games by margin. I'm not going to back that. So I like Atlanta in this spot. Maybe they get a 1-1 split. I don't know if they win. They could. They very well could. But I'll definitely take them at 5.5.
So if you're taking the Hawks, you're clearly expecting them to score 100, 105, 110 points, right?
Sure, probably that most likely happens. So that's probably correlated, right, to your play as well.
That's kind of what I was thinking. I was thinking that Atlanta would push, and it would force the Knicks to either keep up or to keep pushing up. Anyway, we have one other game tonight in the NBA, Toronto Cleveland. What are your thoughts on this game?
I actually,
Yeah, go ahead, Drew. Go ahead. You go first.
I was saying I actually had a play in the NBA. I have kind of like a double up with spread. It involves the game we're about to talk to in game we talked before. I'm doing it's minus 113. I'm doing Raptors plus 15.5 with Hawks plus 10.5. For the Hawks side, I was watching like the Hawks Knicks game, and I think, like you said, they were letting them everything they want to do on offense. But the fact that the Hawks, if you were watching that game, right? You would have thought like the Hawks should be down by 20 to 30 points, and they played, I think, one of their worst games offensively I've seen. So I expect them to keep it within double digits this time around. I expect them to speed up the pace, make adjustments. And then as for the Raptors side of things, I watched, of course, that game as well too, and I thought it was an overall really good game. We expected more probably out of Scotty and such. And like I said, I think they'll make adjustments for that game as well too. And I think there'll be more. I'm not saying the Raptors will necessarily win, but I think we always see in game two, especially with the Wade team, they usually will make adjustments to at least keep the game close or not make it be a blowout. So I like both of those plus 15.5 and plus 10.5.
And again, it's Toronto plus 15.5, and then the Hawks plus 10.5.
10.5. Yep. Minus 113
Fantastic.
on Fanatics, what I got.
I am literally putting in those bets as we speak.
I am too. Sorry, listeners. You can currently get that at plus 110 over on ESPN, I believe. That's what I'm seeing right now. All right, so that's our NBA for the day. Prince, do we want to get into soccer? Or do we want to head into our other playoff in the NHL?
We can go ahead into soccer. I'm ready.
All right, let's do it, man. I'm excited. That Man City game was an absolute banger. In the first half, you had a goal, and then not 15 to 25 seconds later, you had Arsenal match, and then it was a really fun game. I really enjoyed watching it. What do you got for today, man?
Yeah, in fact, I would almost say Man City matched themselves. That was a howler of a goal from Donnarumma, the Man City goalkeeper, who just had a complete blunder, mistouched the ball, and that was all she wrote. And Kai Havertz was right there to put it in. So fluky goal, but Arsenal will take it nonetheless. And Yeah, that match was interesting, very interesting. I thought Arsenal played better in the second half, but you have Erling Haaland. He's a difference maker, and he ended up making the difference. So, going to be tough times ahead for Arsenal. We'll see. It's going to be a real nip and tuck battle to see who ends up getting the championship of the EPL. Something that you guys are going to want to watch. It's an awesome two-team race as we head down the stretch here, the final several games in the EPL. But as far as today, speaking of the EPL, that is where my play is going to be in today for Monday afternoon, 3 p.m. Eastern kickoff in the English Premier League. We do have a matchup here taking place between Crystal Palace taking on West Ham. I'm on the over in this game. I like the game total over 2.5 at -120. We're looking at Crystal Palace. They're sort of on the beach right now. They're kind of in the middle of no man's land. I think they're safe from relegation. For the most part, they're about 11 points clear from the line for relegation, but they're not really in contention to qualify for any European spot. So they're just kind of stuck in the middle right now with not a whole lot to play for other than the Conference League. So I think they're probably going to put all their focus in Conference League matches. The EPL might be matches where you see them play with rotated sides. And maybe half interested, half not. So I'm fading a Crystal Palace team here defensively that might be on the beach. Meanwhile, West Ham, everything to play for here. They are in an absolute relegation battle. They are right there in the midst of it with Tottenham and the other teams down there in the relegation zone. So they're going to need every point they can get. They're fighting for their lives here, survival in the English Premier League. So I think the necessity for West Ham, combined with the maybe indifference from Crystal Palace, going to lead to a lot of goals in this one. Over 2.5 has hit in 8 of the last 11 between these two sides. And if we're looking at the last 10 matches between these two sides, it has averaged 4 goals per game. So typically when these two match up, then we see a lot of goals. I think we're going to see that again today. And if West Ham wins this one, it might be curtains for Tottenham. They will be, I believe, 4 points behind in the relegation zone. And with only a few games left, they're going to need somebody else to slip up. And they're going to need to win a game for the first time all year, which is incredible to think of when you're thinking of Tottenham not winning a game in the calendar year of 2026. But that's a different subject and story altogether. Getting back to Palace West Ham, I like the game total over 2.5 at -120.
I don't mind that at all. My model has value on the over and also on Crystal Palace, something that I'm working on my soccer models, which is really fun. Has been spotty as of late, but getting more and more data in there, and I have started to appreciate the results, and hopefully soon I'll be able to share those model plays with you guys. But I'm definitely in for the over, especially at this price point. Anything else in the world of soccer before we get into the NHL and then, of course, the MLB?
Nothing for today. If I can just give a quick humble brag to myself. I know we were talking about Champions League and how we were putting in futures on who we thought we were going to win it. And me and you talked about Bayern Munich, and we got them at around +600, +650. Well, I was checking my bet slip, and apparently back in September at the beginning of the season, I put a futures on Bayern, and I'm sitting on a +2,000 ticket for Bayern to win the Champions League. So I might be in a really good position here. Sorry, guys, I didn't give that one out, but I just wanted to humble brag. I thought it was kind of fun, considering we've been talking about Bayern in our tickets. I have a +2,000 ticket I didn't even know about till yesterday. I just randomly checked.
That's brilliant. Yeah, I'm looking at my Bayern Munich ticket winner here. Not nearly at that price.
Yeah, I forgot all about it. I was like, let me check through. I was looking at for other bets. I'm like, let me check my bet slip, see what I got. I was like, I put a wager on Bayern. I didn't remember that. Okay, cool. And I also put one on Harry Kane to lead the Champions League in goals scored. That one was at around like +1,000. That one's looking pretty good too. So, not really relevant to the show, but just a humble brag. I had to get that.
Yeah, I've got to say, from Harry Kane, in the last match, I saw him like he was leading the ball down the pitch, and he had an unbelievable pass. The man's meticulous. He was
I gotta go on a tangent here real quick, guys. I know we're trying to get to other sports, but you guys gotta watch Bayern Munich. Even if you're not a soccer fan, Bayern Munich matches are just freaking I don't know.
Electric. They're
electric bangers. They were down 1-0 yesterday in the first half. And before you know it, they're up 3-1 at half. I mean, the frequency and the rate at which they score goals is incredible. It's like almost like nothing we've seen before. Maybe we have. I'm sure some historians can prove some other teams. Of course, we had the Arsenal team from back in the day who were really good and really talented. So there's other teams too. But this Bayern Munich team is just must see TV. They just, no matter what, they're going to put in goals. And something to look for live bets, guys. If you don't see goals early, you better believe they're coming soon. So, little betting tip there. But yeah, Bayern's a fun team to watch, guys. If you're neutral and you're like trying to get into soccer, you're not sure about it, or you know someone who's not sure about it, man, show them a Bayern Munich game. They'll be entertained by the goals, if nothing else. Did you want to take yourself on mute, Stern? I think you're on mute.
Yep, I am. Let's shift focus into the NHL. We got playoffs tonight. Very exciting overall. I mean, literally, I've been so happy watching action all night long. I'm going to take a page out of your book here. I'm going to take a +1.5 puck line parlay on the Oilers +1.5 and the Wild +1.5. I really think that there's value here on both of these teams. The Oilers are taking on the Ducks. And they just have a massive expected goal generation metric advantage over the Ducks, whose goalie Lucas Dostal has a .888 save percentage. Typically you're looking at a 0.92, 0.94 save percentage. So 0.888 is really, really low. I think that the Ducks are just going to be in massive trouble here. This is the game one, also going off in the late slate tonight, which is a great time to watch as the other games in the leagues are winding down. And then the other one here, I was on the Wild side. I didn't have enough cojones to really take them on the money line, so I took them on the +1.5 puck line, and obviously they won 6-1. I like this to be a defensive game. I think it's going to be one goal in either direction. I lean Wild, but the Stars being down 1-0, I'm not really willing to go all that extra mile and take the Wild on the money line. But I think +1.5 is really good value. The Wild on their 5-on-5 metrics are clearly the better team. We saw it in last game. And I know that the public's going to be on the Stars, but I think that the value is really on the better team in the Wild, despite being up 1-0 and having that narrative that the Stars really need to bounce back here or nothing. So I'm going to take the Oilers +1.5 and the Wild +1.5, half a unit -124 over on Caesars last night.
I love it. I think that's a really sharp play, and I'm glad to hear that you think that it's a defensive game this time around with the Stars and the Wild, because I do too. That's actually my official bet. I'm going to take the Stars Wild under 5.5 goals here at +110. These are two defensive-oriented teams, and I think getting 7 goals in the first game was a little bit of an outlier. I don't expect that to continue here. So with two teams that are more on the defensive side, I think we see a lower scoring one in game 2 of this series. So give me the under 5.5 with the Wild and the Stars.
Yeah, and something to note, I got this at under 6 at -115 over on MGM this morning. I think this is an excellent play. If you're looking, I think Mike McClure links the first period under 1.5 at +100. That's also a fantastic play. There's a lot of ways to play this, but yeah, I'm 100% in lockstep with you. I think that this is a lower scoring game. If Dallas just didn't give up towards the end of that game, there's no way. I don't think that there's any way the Wild would have scored 6 in that one. That was mostly just a broken game plan. If the game is close, I expect it to remain low. Drew, do you have anything in the NHL?
Yeah, I loved what Prince's play with the under 5.5 goals in the Wild game. Not because that was something I was thinking of course. So the other thing I was interested in. Oh dang! Oh, first of all, breaking news, real quick. Sorry to interrupt, but Sonny Gray got hurt and they had to take him out of the game. It not like it was like kind of like a non-contact thing. I think his hamstring got tight or something. So
Hey, catch that under 5.5.
yeah,
Sometimes
catch the under.
injuries
But
work for you,
of course, I hope
sometimes
he's
they don't.
okay.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah. Well, I'm happy it wasn't like he got hit or something. It was like he threw a pitch and then he was doing the little squat, And I was like, I know how you feel. I didn't pitch, but I used to play soccer a lot, so I could tell by his reaction he pulled something. So, but something. But another play that I like. It's minus 150. That's minus 140 is usually my like my what is it called, limit
Choose
for certain
tolerance.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, tolerance. But I really, because I thought I liked the Senators, but Senators in that game got completely just outclassed. And I am a big fan of this Hurricanes team. There was a lot of penalties, and I expect a lot of penalties again, personally, in this game. It's how it is. But the Hurricanes defense was absolutely suffocating, personally, and I think that continues. It was game. The game was like 2-0, and also I thought the Hurricanes didn't play a great offensive game as well, and they average a lot of shots on goal per game. So I like the Hurricanes on minus 150. Or another play that I was possibly thinking of is because I'm a fan of the Oilers. Because Stern, I think you said you like the Oilers, right?
I do. I do.
Yeah. So what I was thinking of possibly doing was, uh, for example, was like the Oilers money line with Hurricanes plus 1.5. I'm gonna check what those odds are real quick. I have it pulled up right here. Yeah, that's minus 107. So I'll make that an official play. Hurricanes plus 1.5 with the Oilers money line at minus 107.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I do, of course, like the entire public like Carolina. Something to keep in mind, they did have a defensive injury, which might affect them being able to
Yeah, true.
handle some of Ottawa's offensive talents. But I mean, this is one of those classic games, just like the Dodgers versus the Rockies over the weekend. Dodgers are clearly the better team, clearly the favorite. The public is all over them, but
Yeah.
they don't necessarily win all the time. So that's why I stayed away from this game personally, because I feel like
I feel
too
that.
many people were on Carolina. But I mean, of course, Carolina is the pick, right?
Well,
So
that's why I'm comfortable doing 1.5, because
yeah,
when the Hurricanes lose, it's usually not by a couple goals. You know what I'm saying? I've noticed, like, when they lose, it's generally like a three to
close
four
game.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I do agree, and I'm putting in this bet right now. Just make sure to send it to me with your recap so that I can
Yep.
get this on the
I'm
recap
typing it all
screen.
up right now. Perfect.
Yeah, at plus 100, that's not a bad price at all. Minus 101 on DK, Caesars, minus 105 on FanDuel. Which, by the way, if you don't have Pickett yet, ask me. I can send you a link, a referral link. But you can get so many better prices on these things than what you're just looking at on your one book. You really do have to price shop. All right, we've talked about everything but baseball for the most part. Drew, what do you got for baseball today? I know you had Sonny Gray under 5.5,
Yeah.
which literally just cashed live
Yeah.
on the show.
Yep.
What else do you have for the day?
Yeah, so definitely that's a reminder, guys. There's only certain places, like certain sports books that if you bet the over for something, they have protection, but they only do it in the first inning. So that's where unders can help. If someone does, it sucks if someone does get injured and you bet the over. Hey, that's just how sports works. But I have one other play because it is a kind of a smaller slate. I think there's not even double digit games today. So I have one other play, and it's an outs play. Wouldn't be me if it was an outs play. I believe we have about 8 games remaining in this slate. So we'll go to a guy I generally like to fade. I know it's scary to do 14 and half guys, but I like Jay Gervin under 14 and a half. Something about the Nationals, they don't even like the pitchers reach in the sixth inning. 14 and a half basically means they can't get the up to the final out in the fifth inning. But they're facing a Braves team who has absolutely been destroying starting pitching. Like they've been destroying everyone. Like their lineup is finally healthy. It looks like the 2021 team, not same roster, but they're healthy. People may see the Braves last year and they think that like, oh, they didn't do great last year. They didn't do great last year not because their lineup didn't show up. People kept getting hurt. Acuna kept getting hurt. Ozzy Albies was off and on. Austin Riley was getting hurt every so often. So was Michael Harris. The only constant was Matt Olson, who's played 600 straight games. So I really like this. Jake Irvin, he doesn't have a high whiff rate, like I said before. The Braves are really good at working pitch counts. There's not high strikeouts for the Braves. They generally will make contact. They do have some strikeout people, but they haven't been striking out lately. They have like a lot of grinders that you'll see up there. And the big key is there's Michael Harris. Michael Harris, I believe, against Jake Irvin is like 7 for 18 with a home run or something like that. So they have some history against him because I believe they're in the same division and they faced him before. So I just don't trust this National starting pitching. We've seen how they got absolutely rocked by the Giants, except for the last game. I know the Giants have been getting hot at the right time, and the Nationals did go 5-2 before they faced the Giants, but they let the Giants' offensive going, which is a kind of a bad sign. And I can't imagine what's going to happen in a favorable ballpark for hitting, as always, not just because of weather, but they've always been a favorable ballpark. I expect the Braves to rock them.
I like this a lot. I really do. Last night when I wrote my article, I mentioned the Braves as a heavy lean and a team that I'm going to be looking to bet the team total over live or the money line live. And I'm going to get my pick in this game because I did make an official after kind of reviewing a little bit, but I'm pretty sure Prince has a play in this game as well. Prince, what do you got here?
Yeah, I do, and I'm glad to hear that you guys are on the same side as me. My play here is a 2-pick parlay in the majors. I like the sorry, let me grab my picks here. I like the Braves here on the money line, parlay with the Dodgers on the money line, and you're gonna get that at plus 115. We're looking at the Braves here taking on the Nationals. We've talked at length about how much we want to fade the Nationals in terms of their pitching staff. Right, they got Jake Irvin on the mound today. He's got a 6.16 ERA. And we're looking at their bullpen. Of course, their second to last or third to last, I think 28th in the league in their bullpen. So they give up a lot of runs typically. You have a Braves team that seems to be on fire right now in terms of their hitting, second in batting average, second in runs scored, second in hits, top 5 in home runs, top 5 in doubles, top 5 in runs batted in. So this is a hitting staff here, second in slugging, third in on-base percentage, second in on-base slugging percentage. So the Braves are on fire here with their bats. So I think they do take advantage of a poor Nationals pitching staff here in a ballpark that we talked about before, one of the friendly ballparks here to get a lot of runs and home runs specifically. So I love the Braves here on the money line. Then, of course, we're going to parlay that with the Dodgers and the Rockies. Colorado, of course, the best ballpark to hit runs. The Dodgers are a machine right now offensively. First in batting average, first in runs scored, first in hits, first in home runs, first in RBI, first in slugging, first in on-base percentage. I mean, you can go on and on and on. They're just top 5 in almost every statistical category in terms of hitting. And again, with Quintana on the mound here, 5.63 ERA, not great. The Colorado pitching staff is relatively average, about middle of the park here, 20th in their ERA overall. So I think we see the Dodgers take advantage of a Rockies mid pitching staff here in a very home run friendly ballpark. And then I also think we take the Braves, fading the Nationals pitching staff here with the Braves being one of the better hitting teams in the leagues. Give me the Braves money line, Dodgers money line. Probably comes in at plus 115.
Yeah, I'm going to get to the Dodgers. That's going to be my main play of the day. Give me the Braves money line parlay with the team total over 3.5. I do not like the value here, but I think I have to play it. I do like each individual play. If you wanted to play the money line at minus 160 over on Bet365 or the team total over 3.5 at around minus 170 individually, I don't mind that at all. I'm just going to take a half a unit and play them parlay together. We talked about it. Jake Irving, not good. Nationals bullpen, one of the worst, if not the worst in the entire league. The Braves do get out to early starts, so I like them to kind of go up and stay up. I wouldn't mind their first 5 money line parlay with their full game money line. Just something to keep in mind if they are down early, and this was my original thoughts on my article last night. They have a 120 weighted run creation, which is really almost the highest that you can get going up against the league's worst bullpen. So if they are, you can expect runs late on the Braves side, I think, pretty safely. And I think that's a really good look. On the other play here on the Dodgers, yeah, I agree. Dodgers are probably primed to score some runs. They did win they did lose the last 2 games against the Rockies, who are inexplicably hitting incredibly well, which is really good for my preseason team total wins. But I just want a run in the first inning. I'm going to take run first inning, first one of the year. I know it's juiced at minus 160, but it did cash in the first 2 games of the series. Didn't cash last night, so I do like some regression there. And we got 2 pitchers who are not particularly good in the first inning and not particularly good in the first 3 innings. If you would prefer to play the first 3 over 2 or 3.5, depending on the juice and what book you have. Jose Quintana has yet to pitch in his new home stadium. That's going to be an adjustment. The ballpark profiles to be especially rough for him because he gives up a ton of contact, but it's not mostly hard contact, right? He has a hard hit rate at 26.7%, but the barrel rate is at 19.2%. His extremely bad expected stats, 444 expected weighted on base, WOBA, his on base average, to a 631 expected slugging percentage, literally just screams to me that balls are going to be drooping in that huge outfield all day long. And I love the Dodgers to kind of get up early. But on the Dodgers side, I don't really want to trust Justin Robletsky. He's coming off a phenomenal outing. He went 8 innings on a 2-hit shutout over the Mets, who, granted, not great offensively, which is probably an understatement. But when you go 8 innings, 2-hit shutouts over a decent team, you're inviting immediate negative regression the next time out, even if it's just 1 run early. He has been able to induce weak contact with a lot of good-looking metrics, but he has a 13.6% whiff rate, 9.5% strikeout rate, in-course field with an opponent's expected batting average at 272. Also, I can see problems here. This field profiles as not a great place for him to pitch. It just doesn't, and especially against a hot Rockies team. Like I said before, neither pitcher does particularly well first time around the order. And I think that the minus 160 price is justified here. Obviously, I do lean the Dodgers on the game. If the Dodgers go down early, I'll be looking to bet that live along with the half a unit that I put on the parlay that Prince gave. So yes, run first inning, first one of the year, minus 160. I think that the juice is worth the squeeze. Drew, how do you feel about, Prince, how do you feel about this game?
Yeah, I like it, but I have a question for you regarding Shohei Ohtani. So I heard that they're not going to have him pitch for a while. First of all, is that true? Second of all, is that just to kind of preserve his arm? And how long can we expect that to be for? Do you have any inclination on that?
Not really. This is the first time I'm hearing of it. Ask me tomorrow, and I'll do some research on this.
Gotcha.
I
Sounds
would be
good.
surprised if
No,
anything.
Shohei's expected to pitch. He's going to
Okay.
pitch against the Giants, I believe, in
Okay.
the second
Maybe
game.
maybe
And
that was just
the
as
first.
maybe I just heard that. Maybe it was for a specific game or something.
Oh, so
Okay.
what you probably heard was he didn't bat his last pitching game, and then people like freaked out and stuff. But then Dave Roberts came out against the Mets because he got hit in the back of the shoulder on Monday, and they're like, "Hey, we're just gonna have him focus on one swing." On one thing, and they're like, "Oh, well, if he can pitch, why can't he hit?" Well, it's different when you're pitching and you get hit in the rotator cuff. You can at least stay loose, right? If you're batting because he's a left-handed batter but a right-handed pitcher, so you expose that right shoulder more, right? What he's worried is he might get hit again in there, and then swinging your bat can cause more stress on your shoulder than that. And they said if he didn't get hit on Monday, he would have hit. So right now he's a probable pitcher against the Giants. I wish he wasn't pitching against us, but yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. All right, yeah, that's exactly what it was. I remember now. Okay, perfect. Thanks for clearing it up. Is he gonna be in the lineup tonight?
Yes,
Okay, okay,
yeah, he
okay.
very much should be, especially coming off of two straight losses to a team that the Dodgers feel justifiably angry about losing back-to-back games. I very much expect the Dodgers' best effort tonight. You know what? No, we're gonna save it. I'm going to take a gander and say that your home run pick is going to be Shohei.
It might be. It very well might be. Yes. Wink, wink.
But let's see if there's any other games that we want to talk about in the MLB. First, I did want to mention this Philly game. Aaron Nola, who has been very interesting for me to watch, the difference with his breaking stuff this year versus last year sets up everything for him. I think he could do really well against a Cubs team that's really offensively clicking for the most part. They're going up against Colin Ray. I do have a lean. I wanted to play the Phillies. I'm going to play the Phillies if they go down early. I like the Phillies to win today. Just keep in mind the Phillies are on a 5-game losing streak. The Cubs are on a 5-game winning streak. But I think that Aaron Nola is better than Colin Ray. And I honestly think that the Phillies bullpen is better than the Cubs bullpen. And I really think that the Phillies are primed to break out sooner or later. Drew, do you have any thoughts on this game at all? And I do lean under overall, despite the weather blowing out.
Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, so that was a game I was actually like pretty interested in. Like I was going to do for outs, but Colin Ray is not too unpredictable. He's like one of those, maybe she will, maybe she will type pitchers. No Drake though. But something I will say about Ray is when he's on, he's on. Um, uh, I just think it's overall tough because the Phillies offense has just not been what we expected. I think they're like close to last in the league in like slugging percentage alone. They really just rely on Kyle Schwarber to hit home runs at this point to get their offense going. And Bryce Harper has been doing pretty decently as well. But there are other people in the order like Bohm is struggling, Marsh is off and on. Justin Crawford, Carl Crawford's son, is not doing as great as we want. Real Muto and stuff. So the Cubs have been pretty good at Wrigley. They've had some magic there. But it's whether or not, because people forget, that Aaron Nola just faced the Cubs at Philadelphia and he got rocked in like the fifth inning. So we'll see if the Cubs can do the same against Nola this like they did last time because this series just happened. So they're going to see similar pitchers, to what they saw the last time where the Cubs dominated that series.
Yeah, and you're right about the Philly bats. I will say Harper seems to be coming on. His barrel rate's really, really good. He just needs to work on the hard hit contact, which is kind of down a little bit. Adolis Garcia, though, and I mentioned this, I think it was last week. He was hitting the ball really well, and it just wasn't coming through. So now we're starting to see a little bit of offensive production from him. If they can get Garcia, Schwarber, and Harper together hitting well at the same time, this is going to be a ferocious team, and we could see some early inning fireworks sooner or later. But once it starts clicking, watch out. I feel like it's going to like all come at once,
Oh yeah, I'm not worried about their offense, personally, in my opinion, because that's one of those things. It's earlier in the season, right? They'll eventually click. Only like 20 games a season out of 162 games. Something I am worried about, though, I will say, and I think they might click, is their starting pitching. Christopher Sanchez hasn't looked like what he did last year to start the season, and Jesus Luzardo just can't avoid that one inning. And Aaron Nola, you think he's back, and he's not back. Probably one of the more consistent pitchers have been Andrew Painter. I know he's had his struggles, but I'm more worried about the starting pitching than their offense. But if their offense can get going, I think their starting pitching will, because their starting pitching is probably going to be more stingy because the offense isn't going because they coincide with each other.
Yeah, last year they had one of the better rotations in all of baseball. It's part of what helped them have success. I
And if
do
Wheeler comes back,
Yeah, I'm looking forward to having that rotation in the groove again. I think that they can do really cool things. Another game that I was looking at, couldn't get anywhere, but Cardinals Marlins. You have Michael McGreevy, who is somebody that I like fading, versus Max Meyer, who I also think is worth fading. But I couldn't get to anything in this game. Did you have any thoughts on this game or on a pitcher?
yeah, this is one of those games I like to stay away from because this is one of those where I don't trust either offense to be consistent because both of these offenses are very inconsistent. Like at the end of the day, because if you look at it, the Cardinals, right? When like the Cardinals and Marlins are both very free swinging teams and high contact teams, right? So if you keep like if they keep hitting and putting the ball in play, the pitchers are going to stay in longer and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden you see it's the fifth inning, it's 1-1. But you could see it's the fifth inning and it's like 5-4. It depends what's going on with the weather and stuff like that. So I wanted to stay away from this game.
Yeah, kind of similar thoughts. And then the last game that I wanted to get to, Kyle Bradish versus Seth Lugo. You have the Orioles visiting the Royals. Royals just got their tushies handed to them by my Yankees. The Orioles starting to come on offensively. Pete Alonso is really starting to turn it on, which is awesome. We knew that he would do that sooner or later, but there's a bunch of no-name players: Samuel Basallo, Blaze Alexander. I guess not no names, but Leody Taveras, who are starting to hit really, really well. And then, of course, Gunnar Henderson, who, again, we'll get to that guy later in the show.
What a no name. I'm kidding.
How do you feel about Seth Lugo? Because he's
Love
been
him.
pitching incredibly well, but some of his underlying metrics are a little concerning to me. Anyway, how do you feel about this game? Kyle Bradish was unbelievable last time out. That slider was perfectly painting the corners. He looked like a completely different pitcher from years past. He looked like he turned back the clock.
Oh,
What happened?
I'm a big fan of Seth Lugo. That was an outs I was thinking of doing over 7.5 -120 because he basically covered it every single game. But I wanted to just do one other out since I did Gray under 5.5. But I expect Lugo to go deep. Something I've noticed with him this year, his control has been absolutely insane. He's turning back the clock, kind of like Michael Walker. Even I'll say this: Michael Walker, he was the most impressive pitcher in that World Series. He only gave up 2 runs through like 6 innings. Him and Seth Lugo took the fountain of youth. And I like Seth Lugo a lot. I'm not going to fade him at the beginning of the year, but this is one of those where I like backing Royals when Seth Lugo and Michael Walker are in the mound now because they're just dominating and they're going 6 or 7 innings every time. So and the Orioles offense has been very sketchy as of late. We saw them almost get no hit by Parker Messick, who I think Parker Messick is going to be a really good pitcher. He's just very young. But still, though, like you've seen how stagnant their offense looked in the Cleveland series at the end of the day. So until they can prove otherwise that their offense isn't going to go stagnant again, especially at Kauffman Stadium, where the Royals are pretty good at Kauffman Stadium, we'll see.
Yeah. All right, let's get into home run sprinkles of the day. Prince, I'm going to go to you first because I think I know where you're going. Who do you got for us today? What's the juice and what are we looking at?
Yeah, I already spoiled it, guys, but let's just go ahead and confirm it here. Give me Shohei Ohtani, plus 192 here, taking on the Rockies. Look, Shohei Ohtani, Coors Field, yes, please. That's all I need to say. I will take it. And let's see if he can get a home run. Plus 192 is the juice on that one.
Well, I hope he does it in the first inning because then we get to both cash our plays. I love this. Look for boosts everywhere because you're not going to get this for under 300. So definitely look for a boost there. Drew, who do you got?
Yeah, I just posted it. I love it's Michael Harris again. He had a home run yesterday. You're always going to get great value with Michael Harris because he's in the 9 hole. He likes playing in the 9 hole too because that's where he hits like the best. It's like crazy how well he hits. So the reason why it's plus 575 because he does hit at that part of the order. If you hit that part of the order, you get less at bats. But he's facing Jake Irvin, a pitcher he's familiar with and owns in a favorable ballpark. And Jake Irvin, I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. He led the league in giving up, I think, home runs last year. I think he gave up like over 30 home runs last year. And Michael Harris, when he faces righties, is a different pitcher. When he a different hitter, when he faces lefties, he's 2 for 15. When he faces righties, he has a 519 slugging percentage, hits 333 and an 887 OPS, and he has 3 of his 4 home runs against righties. So I like Michael Harris again to hit back to back days with home runs.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Jake Irving has a 33.3% fly ball rate and a 24% line drive rate, which leaves only 31.5% ground ball rate. So if you're following that, balls are going in the air and they're getting hit hard and they're getting hit often. So yeah, I definitely like that. And I think he was one of the league, I guess you could say, leaders in giving up home runs. So it's definitely a good look. By the way, Prince, for your pick, I rebuilt my model from last year that was very successful, honestly, for predicting home runs. And Shohei Ohtani was, I mean, clearly the favorite by almost 50 points. The only reason why I didn't choose it was the price. But model definitely loves Harris and Ohtani, both of whom are on the list. The person who I found the most value on the list, Gunnar Henderson. I think that today is the day. Something to note about Seth Lugo. He is a great pitcher. He's been doing really, really well. But last year, he gave up a lot of home runs. Now, obviously, he's pitching a little bit different, but the most amount of games over the last 2 years that he has pitched no home runs is 4. And he's gone 4 games without pitching a home run or throwing a home run this year already. So I think that we're going to see a home run from him today. That's really kind of negative regression is incoming for him. You have wind blowing out left, 14 miles per hour. You have a hot Gunnar Henderson who has an 11.5% barrel rate to a 52.5% hard hit rate. I just think that Henderson is very perfectly timed to hit another home run after he hit one on Saturday. And if you look at his stats over the last few years, he hits home runs in bunches. So if he's feeling it, he's feeling it. And I think he's going to feel it today. plus 437 last night. I thought was excellent value. Yeah, either of you guys have any thoughts on Henderson today?
Yeah, I love your Gunner pick. Also, Stern, I looked it up. Jake Irvin in 180 innings last year gave up 38 home runs, which was by far the most given up. But yeah, that's absolutely terrible. But I love Gunner. I saw Gunner when he usually faces righties. He has light tower power no matter what. He doesn't look like a guy that would have light tower power. I'm not saying like he looks like, a very like, in shape, player, but he doesn't look like a Judge or something like that. I know he's tall, but the amount of power he generates is insane. He kind of reminds me in a way like you look at Michael Harris. You don't think he has like crazy power, because he's like a lean guy, So something with Kauffman Stadium, they did bring the center field in, and that's where he likes to hit his home runs. He likes to hit him center field and pull. He doesn't really hit much oppo home runs, so I can see him do that in Kauffman Stadium.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see how the stadium shifts from year to year affect the hitting profiles for the stadiums. Last year, Kauffman Stadium ranked 25th in home runs. This year, it's starting to get more near middle of the pack. So I don't have official stats yet for me to bring in, but the hitting profile is actually improving over there. And again, you have one of the better weathers of the day there. So something to look at for. Anything else on the day? MLB, NHL, soccer. Hell, you could talk about NFL. Anything that you guys want to get to before we wrap the show up?
Yeah, I'm going to talk. I do have one thing in the NFL that I don't know talked about, but something I will say is um, the Giants absolutely, like the New York Giants absolutely fleeced. I believe it was the Bengals. Like the fact that they gave their 10th overall pick to the Giants for Dexter Lawrence. Dexter Lawrence is a good player, but he's 28 years old, defensive tackle. I'm sorry, but no defensive tackle that's 28 years old is worth a 10th overall pick. At least when the Niners did it for DeForest Buckner, he was still like I think only 26, and he was like absolutely insane. But of course, when they traded, I forgot who they traded the Colts, but it wasn't any. I don't think it was the 10th overall pick. So I just thought the Giants fleeced them. Now the Giants have the 10th and 5th pick right now, and it's going to be very intriguing to see what the Giants do. And I like that they made that trade.
Yeah, I don't mind it either. I think that the Giants are really starting to build towards a real rebuilding team as opposed to the half rebuilding team that they've been doing for the last 10 years. I'm very excited for it. And the fact that they get to remove $20 million off their contracts that they need to pay out is going to open up a lot of wiggle room for other things. So they have all the things needed for a decent franchise or Super Bowl type run, not necessarily this year, but for the upcoming years. You have a young quarterback on a rookie contract. You have a young wide receiver on a rookie contract. You have a young running back on a rookie contract. So they're going to really be able to pour the resources into their defensive and offensive line, which should, I think, definitely help them in the upcoming season. I'm very excited as a Giants fan to see what they're able to do.
Yeah, I just don't understand if you're the Bengals, why trade for. I've always like kind of been taught this. You don't trade for an interior piece if you don't have edge rushers yet. So that's the thing. They don't have edge pressure, the Bengals, and that was just an overall bad trade. I know some buddies that are Cincinnati fans, and they were upset with it because, like, no offense, Dexter Lawrence is a great player, but if you don't have edge players, like to counteract with him, then I don't understand it. Like, you could have gotten someone 10th overall pick in the draft that was like Peter Woods possibly in the draft or something. That was just my take on it.
I mean, you have to be thinking it's Joe Burrow's last chance to win one with the
Yeah.
Bengals, right? And
Yes.
therefore they're just going all in and whatever they can do.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel that. I just didn't think getting Dexter Lawrence as an interior piece. He's a great interior piece, but to trade literally in one of the most valuable picks, a top 10 pick, is very hard to do.
Yeah. Prince, do you have any thoughts in the worldwide of sports?
Yeah, so talking about the draft here, looking at your New York Giants, I'm looking at Mel Kiper's updated mock draft here. It looks like Caleb Downs, the safety from Ohio State, is who they're projected to get. So, to your point here, the Giants probably in position here to kind of bolster up their defense, which, look, they needed every position, right? But I think you can't go wrong with that. So, it looks like Giants trying to get back to their roots of being more of a defensive team. And then the only other thing I'll say is, of course, the Raiders number one pick. Obviously, they're going to take Fernando Mendoza, the quarterback out of Indiana. I think I really like that pick. I don't know if he's going to work out, but I think he's a culture setter. And I really like his personality. I think he's going to overhaul the culture, which is what they need. I mean, the Raiders, they're too proud of a franchise to be, I don't know, losers, I guess I would say, and have a losing mentality year after year. So, if nothing else, I hope everything works out for them because the NFL is better when the Raiders are better. But I like him personality wise from a leadership standpoint. I think, if nothing else, he's going to be a prominent voice in the locker room, even as a rookie. I'm really high on his character.
Yeah, you're basically getting him to be a franchise setter, which is basically what they've been trying to look for. But I agree to disagree that I think that the NFL may not be better with the Raiders being competitive, but that just might be because I don't like the Raiders.
I think that's what it is, 100%. Yep. A little bit of bias in there, but okay, it's all right. We'll
Hey,
love it.
I'll say this: I'm a Niners fan, and I have to agree with you, Prince. Actually, Niners Raiders were gonna have a big rivalry. 'Cause I had friends that were Raiders fans, but the the sports is better. I mean, NFL is better when like a team like the Raiders is better, right? At the end of
you
the
you
day,
want
so yeah,
you want your blue bloods to be quality, right? Whether
yeah.
whatever sport you're talking about. So as much as
You
we
guys are
may,
right. Yeah,
as much just like
Uh,
the Giants, hey, just like
yeah,
your
no, I would say
Giants, just
that
like your
yes, I would say
yeah,
NFL is better when the
yeah.
Giants are better. I agree.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's in a better place when you have your historic blue bloods, who are better as opposed to maybe your no disrespect to Jacksonville, no disrespect to I'm trying to think of other teams off the top of my head that maybe aren't as prominent.
I can't put the
Commanders.
Cowboys in there.
You
The
know,
Cowboys, it's great when the Cowboys are mediocre.
I agree with that as a Giants fan, but I will say that having the three-way race between the Eagles, the Giants, and Cowboys, I mean, there's almost nothing better than that. It's an unbelievable. It's just like the AL East and baseball. It's fun when you have so many good teams competing. And if Washington could get their act together, that you could throw them in the mix too for a decent price.
a
They
lot of
made some
history
good
there.
offseason. Washington made some good offseason trades at the end of the day. And did you guys know the NL East, right, is the not the NL East, my bad. The NFC East is the only division that all four teams have Super Bowls.
I did not know that. That's
Yeah,
really cool.
I learned that. Yeah, they're the only if you because one of my buddies told me that and I was like looking, I was like, that's a good point.
I mean, you really, yeah. That's I love it how
Multiple
most
to be
sports teams
exact.
are
I think
competing.
everyone at least has two or more Super Bowls.
I'm going to assume the Commanders have the least Super Bowls in that group.
Actually, the Commanders, I think, have the second because I think they have three, right?
They have three, yeah.
Yeah, so they have the second. Oh no, they have the third most. My bad. The Giants have four. Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully we can join that list of multiple Super Bowls. We're still hanging on to the 85 Bears we've been talking about for over 30 years now.
The
Would be nice
Bears.
would be nice to move on for that. And then the draft looks like of course we have a later first round pick, but we're projected to get a defensive player. So of course that's what we need more than anything. And there has been some murmurings. I'm not sure if it's true or not. Tyreek Hill to the Bears. I heard that a little bit. I'm not sure if that's still a thing or not. But we'll see. Wow, what an addition that would be. Whatever he's got left, I think, if anything, as long as he's what should I say, not a deterrence in the locker room, I think he'd be an awesome addition to any team. But man, can you imagine him with Ben Johnson in this Bears offense? Be a lot of fun to watch if nothing else. But we'll see how he is coming off of his injury. But hopeful for my Bears. We'll see what they do in this draft and how they can improve on last year and hopefully make it all the way. We're due for a Super Bowl appearance. So let's go Bears. Bear down.
No, can't agree there either.
I know. Hey, you know what? You've been out of the Bears since
I
I've known
actually,
you. You know,
I
that's
still
all
owe you
right.
from last
I'm
year.
good. You do still owe me, yes, sir. One of these days, I'm gonna see you in a Cowboys jersey.
I'm waiting till I see it on like a discount store where I'm shopping, and I'm just going to buy one. But I do think that the Bears need to focus on their defense. Their offense wasn't the problem last year; it was their defense. Having to rely on turnovers is not a recipe for
Not
success.
sustainable. Not sustainable. No, we couldn't stop a nosebleed.
No.
I mean, it was fun. It was fun to watch. Fun for neutrals.
Oh, it
High
was
scoring
amazing.
games.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
high scoring games. But we can't rely on these miracle throws from Caleb Williams week after week. It's not sustainable. So I'm sure
What
the.
do you mean it's not sustainable? Have him be Superman.
Yeah, I know,
Have him
right? I
throw a
wish.
back foot 50-yard pass every
Yeah,
time.
yeah. Sorry, I don't
I
think that. Yeah, I'm
I
not. I'm
cannot
not counting
figure
on
that
that
man
again.
out. He misses wide open, easy completions, but
Oh my
he'll
God.
hit those back foot 50.
Mosh, Mosh,
It's unbelievable.
it's the most conflicting thing here with Bears fans. Here in Chicago, listening to Bears radio, you have such a divide between people who support him and people who say, "Well, you can't make the easy throws." Yeah, but look at the throws he does make, right? And it's like it's such a paradox because you don't know what to do. You're like, "Oh, damn!
Well,
Like,
it's
how
simple.
do I ignore these great throws that he makes?" But then there's a 5 yard out and he freaking overthrows it. Like, it's
Well,
just
Prince,
it's.
it's simple. Ben Johnson has the wrong game plan. He needs to have him every play throw back foot throws.
Yeah,
Like, why
yeah,
is he having to throw
yeah,
easy throws? It's his
yeah.
fault. I'm just kidding.
Backflip 97Z on
Hey,
three.
feet
30.
can't be set. Feet can't be set. Hey, screen pass, he has to run all the way to the other side and throw it.
For real, for real. That's the only way. He makes the most incredible throws. Throws you've never seen before. But the simple dink and dunks, it seems like he has a problem with. So I don't know. That's something that can probably be fixed. Though I mean, he's got God given talent with those incredible throws that he makes. So he's a wild card, and we'll see how they bolster the team here. As long as they can give him some help defensively, I think he'll be in a better position. So you won't have to freaking win every single game and score 40 points to win. It would be nice. I don't want to turn into the Cincinnati Bengals.
I'm excited for Thursday.
All right, let's recap our best bets unless any of our listeners want to come in and ask us any questions. Drew, why don't you lead us off and give us your best bets for the day?
Yes, my first best bet is Caleb to throw a back foot pass during draft day. I'm just kidding. I have Hawks plus 10.5 with Raptors plus 50.5 and minus 113. Jake Irvin under 14.5 outs at plus 130. Hurricanes plus 1.5 with Oilers money line at minus 101. Sprinkled Michael Harris home run at plus 575. And I sent those to you as well.
Love it, love it, love it. I am not on mute. Dodgers, Rockies, yes, run first inning minus 160. That's my full unit play. Everything else is a half a unit. I got the Braves money line team total over 3.5 minus 110. My home run sprinkle of the day is Gunnar Henderson plus 437. Hawks, Knicks over 216.5 minus 120. I also have a 3-leg series winner parlay featuring the Pistons, Celtics, and Spurs for minus 147. And then lastly, in the NHL, 2-leg parlay at minus 124. Oilers plus 1.5 and Wild plus 1.5. And by the way, during the show, our man Squishy, who couldn't be on today, but he listens to our show regularly and he is officially a capper of ours. He links the Wild plus 115 on the money line. So I'm happy that he agrees with me. Prince, close us out, man.
Yeah, for sure. So for me, guys, we're going on the pitch here. We've got an EPL match taking place at 3 p.m. Eastern. Give me Crystal Palace, West Ham over 2.5 goals here at minus 120. Going over to the ice here, I like the Minnesota Wild Dallas Stars under 5.5 goals at plus 110. In the NBA playoffs, I will take the Minnesota Timberwolves team total over 112.5 again at minus 110. And on the diamond tonight, give me the Braves money line plus the Dodgers money line plus 115. And then we're going to sprinkle Shohei Ohtani to hit a home run. That one comes in at plus 192. For SternBets, DrewDelucchi, I'm Prince of Picks. This has been the Only Bet Sports Podcast Monday edition. Have a great Monday, everyone. We will be back Tuesday, same time, same place. Come and join us. Monday through Friday, we're here every weekday, 11:30 a.m. Eastern on Twitter, X Spaces. You can find us at SternBets, at Prince of Picks. We always post our links, so you guys be free to join us here. Come in with any comments, thoughts, concerns, complaints, anything you got. We'll be here to listen to it.
And if you
Yes,
want
sir.
to be on our show, come 11:30 a.m. on Twitter or X. We would love to have you. We are looking for more co-hosts, either on a permanent basis or once a week or twice a week, whatever fits your schedule. But we are open to having you. So come and join us.
Yes, 100%. He just copied what I just said, but it doesn't hurt to say it twice.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. But other than that, guys, yeah, absolutely join us. We'd love to have you on. And yeah, until next time, guys, we'll be back tomorrow, Tuesday, same time, same place. Till then, have a great Monday. We will talk to you then. Thanks.